Can you hear me?
Good. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Awesome. Yes, awesome. So what are we working on for you, Dawn?
I don't know. It's been pretty bad for the last 5 years.
What's been bad?
I just went through a 27-year marriage that ended in divorce,
Oh, I'm
and
sorry.
back living with my 77-year-old mother and take care of her. But I had to move back into her house because lost the house in the divorce. So just been going day to day. We're
Man, I'm
trying to
sorry.
move out of the house to get into a smaller house, but we're having trouble finding a place to move into. So the house is pretty old, so it's needs a lot of renovations.
Right. No, that makes sense. So, how about this? Do you have any like physical pain or discomfort?
Yeah, I'm on disability. I've been
Okay.
on disability for 2 years now, going on three. I have a bad back, very bad neuropathy of the feet, um, messed up knee surgery on my left knee. And I broke two ribs back in 2019 from coughing. So I got a lot of stuff going on.
Wow.
A lot of
Yeah, for sure.
limitations.
For sure. So, which one is the most annoying or the most painful?
The neuropathy on my feet is just awful. It's constant, 24/7 every day.
When you say
And then
neuropathy, what does that mean exactly? What is like
it's from diabetes plus my back problems. It gives you pain in your toes and in the bottom of your feet. It's like having pins and needles constantly all the time. And then sometimes you get it worse, like you get jabbing pains and then burning sensation. And it's 24/7 for me.
wow. So it just
Yeah,
doesn't ever stop?
never stops.
Wow, I'm sorry to hear that. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the pain in your feet in this moment right now? One being
I'm laying
really,
in Yeah, I'm laying in bed right now, so when I'm laying in bed trying to sleep, it's a 10.
so it gets worse when you're like still.
Yeah.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah, I can hardly bend my toes right now. I'm trying to bend them and I can't bend them.
Oh my
And it's
gosh.
kind of funny because you say your feet are numb, but yet you still feel the pain. So it's really weird. And
Oh, so it's like,
with all the technology they have, you think they'd have something that you could get to help, but the two medicines that help is gabapentin and Lyrica, and they didn't do nothing for me.
okay, so let's see what emotion code can do. Not that I'm saying like, let's cure you, like it's not what I'm saying. Just let's see what we can do as far as like the pain in your feet and,
Hmm.
try to reduce it, see what happens. So, sound good?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, perfect. Let's have a quick moment of silence and we'll get to it. All right, thank this proxy for you. What is the biggest trapped emotion can release now that's causing this pain in your feet? Maybe even out of one. Heartache. When did this occur? Page 10, 20, 30, 28, 7, 6, 5, 4, age 24. Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct? That was the biggest trapped emotion release now. That is causing this pain in your feet. Maybe even 2, 4, 6. Shame. When did this? 10, 20, 20, 19, 18, 17, age 17. Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct? That was the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this pain in your feet. Maybe even 2, 4, 6. Shock. When did this occur? Page 10, 20, age 20. We need to know more. Okay, let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct? That was the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this pain in your feet. Maybe even out of one. Heartache. When did this? 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, age 7. Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this pain in your feet. Maybe even 2, 4, guilt. When did this occur? Age 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, age 7. Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion we can release now that is causing this pain in your feet? Maybe 2, 4, guilt. When did this occur? Age 10, 20, age 20. We need to know more. Okay, let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion we can release now that's causing this pain in your feet? So maybe 2, 4, hatred. When did this occur? 10, 20, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 14, age 14. Let's go ahead and release that.
What the?
Did we correct that? Do you recognize that one?
No.
Interesting. Okay. Do you recognize any of them?
Yeah, some.
Some. Okay. Sometimes we don't remember them, and sometimes the ones that we don't recognize are usually absorbed. So I wouldn't be surprised if you're like, oh, I guess that could have been from my mother that went through this or that, you know?
Right.
Interesting. What is the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this pain in your feet? Maybe 2, 4, resentment. When did this occur? 10, 20, 29, 18, 17, 16, 14, age 14. Let's go ahead and release that. To be correct, that was the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this pain in your feet. Maybe even out of 1. Heartache. When did this occur? 10, 20, 29, 18, 17, 16, 13, age 13. Let's go ahead and release that. To be correct, that was the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this pain in your feet. Maybe even 2. Hopelessness. When this occur? 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, age 7. Let's go ahead and release that. To be correct, that was the biggest trapped emotion release now that is causing this pain in your feet. Maybe even 2, 4, 6. Unworthy. When did this occur? Age 10, 20, age 20. We need some more. Okay. Let's go ahead and release that. What is the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this pain in your feet? Maybe 2, 4. Bitterness. When did this occur? 10, 20, age 20. Let's go ahead and release that. To be correct, that what's the biggest trapped emotion release now that is causing this pain in your feet? Maybe even 2, 4, 6. Unsupported. When did this 10, 20, 30, 28, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, age 23. Let's go ahead and release that. Did we get that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this pain in your feet? Okay, go ahead and stand up if you can. If it hurts too much, obviously don't. But if you can, go ahead and stand up, walk around, take 10 steps, move your shoulders around, move your neck around, give me a little shimmy, a little bit of twerking. Get it, get it. I'm gonna take a really big deep breath.
Okay.
Feel free to sit back down. And how do those feet feel?
Oh. It does, sometimes it does help when I stand and or run them a little bit, but yeah, they still hurt pretty bad.
So is it still a 10?
Yeah.
Let me ask, what is the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this resistance to healing with the pain in your feet? Maybe one. Forlorn. So forlorn is like feeling lost, forsaken, or forgotten. When did this occur? Page 10, 20, age 20. Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this pain? Yeah, there's a secondary gain here. What is the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this resistance to healing with the pain in your feet? Maybe even 2, 4, 6. Shame. When did this occur? Page 10, 20, age 20. We need to know more. Okay, let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this resistance to healing with the pain in your feet? Maybe 2, 4. Resentment. When did this 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, H7? Let's go ahead and release that. Did we release that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this resistance to healing with the pain in your feet? Maybe even out of 1, 3, 5. Creative insecurity. Creative insecurity is kind of like an insecurity to create things. So when did this occur? Age 10, 20, 30, 40, 39, 7, 6, 5, age 35. Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? What's the biggest trapped emotion release now that's causing this resistance to healing with the pain in your feet? Go ahead and instead of walking around, just kind of move your feet around. Take a really big breath. How do you feel?
It's a little better, but it's still there.
That's okay. What would you say it's on the scale?
Maybe about a 7.
Yay! From a 10 to a 7. That's awesome.
Yeah, I can actually move my toes right now. I couldn't move them before.
What? Oh my gosh, that's great. That's incredible. And so I wouldn't be surprised if it kept getting better, but I would definitely recommend another session, specifically working on kind of like I always forget your name.
Dawn.
Jaden was saying there's a secondary gain there. So what that means is there's like a resistance to healing, or it's almost like the reason why your body is in pain is not because of the stuff that's happening inside of your body. It's because you're actually gaining something from having the pain. Does that make sense? So
yeah, kind of.
I get that. So we should definitely schedule a session with you if you can. If not, if you read the book, learn how to do it yourself, you'll be able to release your own trapped emotions. And any questions?
The 7-year-old and 13 and 20 came up a lot. Yeah. I don't know about the 20, but I do know about the 7 and the 13 does. Yeah, that makes sense.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah. Cool. But the 20 doesn't. I got married at 23, so.
Okay. No, that makes sense. Sometimes the emotions that are pulled up, sometimes we've absorbed them, sometimes they're other people's, sometimes we just don't remember, or sometimes it's just an emotion that happens so quick that we're just like, oh, I didn't even realize that was a big deal, so super cool. Are you okay if I use this on my YouTube channel?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.